Oh, well, the old truck, it's only about 4 years off 100 years old. 4 or 5 years off 100, so...
Yeah, it's a 29 Chev.
Yeah, 29 Chev. Yeah. First, 29 was the first year for Chev's 6-cylinder motor. And 1928 was the first year they had front wheel brakes. It's got a bit of history about it. We've had it for probably 35 years. Come from Thompson's out at Delungra. We sort of had the bug of collecting things and brought it home, and the first outing was up to the Gumflat Centenary for the school. Drove it up there from here, and it had bloody chooks and that on the back of it. And they drove it home again, and it was put in the shed, and that's where it stayed till after COVID, or when COVID was on, and I had all these parts collected up to, I needed to make it back what it is now. Had to find steel front wheels for it. It had wooden spokes before and didn't have headlights. The radiator wasn't as good as that one, and
so it was in pretty much similar condition when you got it. Like the guards were obviously damaged. Like it had farm truck damage on it, I imagine. But
well, they aren't the original mud guards on it.
No,
they were a couple of mud guards that were left here from another project, and I never threw them out or anything. I thought I might need them one day, and they'd had all the work done on them, so I just put them on the way they were. Gary Fawcett made a few panels for me and made a new roof for it. Had to get the new windscreen, it was all buggered. Made the new doors up for it out of an old oil tank. Oh, it's got a bit of Coles Liquorland sign on there somewhere. Mud guards. But it's been all rewired, and
all the wiring's out of a John Deere header harness that I got from previous employment.
See the bits, huh?
Because you rebuilt the whole tray and everything. Like you made the wood for the tray and the headboard and everything.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make it look old, and I was a bit lucky getting some old timber from out there at Tom's.
Yep.
It looks the part.
Certainly does.
Any rate, I got it all collected up, and I thought, well, if I don't put all these things back together, one day I mightn't be here, and all these bits will be laying around. And so I decided to make an old farm truck out of it, and that's the way it's turned out. It gets along pretty good at about 30 mile an hour. Speedo's still original, still works. I got new kingpins and bushes put in it.
Yep.
Relined the front brakes and all new bushes in the spring hangers. It was mechanically pretty good.
Yep.
When we got it, I never even washed all the grease and dirt off it from when it was on the farm. It's still as it is, because the old motor, you've only got to think about starting, it'll start.
Once it was out of the shed, it didn't take much to get it running again.
No, well, all the hood and that was all collapsed down on it, wired together, and it was buggered, all the bodywork, more or less.
She was quite a ramshackle looking bit of gear.
And then I dragged it out of the shed there, and he got to it and cleaned the carburettor out, which didn't have much to do to it. There's not much in a carburettor in those days. I think he cleaned the points, and we put a bit of petrol in her, wound her over, and put a bit of oil down the cylinders, I think.
It didn't. Yeah, it certainly didn't take a lot.
That's amazing. Hasn't been going since 1988 and it's idling. Hasn't been going since 88 and it's idling. That's amazing.
And
But at that point, it had no front axle. It had the cab was all fallen down. The tray was all rotted away.
yeah, she was very sad when we started on it.
It'd been in that shed longer than I'd been around.
I don't think you ever thought it'd ever come out.
I didn't. I genuinely didn't think I'd ever see it. Yeah.
When you and your mates come out and you took them for a bit of a run around the paddock, and they had the cackles coming out of them pretty well.
Things were bouncing around on the back of the truck. I didn't even know. That was the first time I'd ever driven it, I think. Except for all the times I did hundreds of Ks in the shed.
Never even got into top gear.
I didn't know it had top gear. I thought third was all she had.
No, we've had a bit of fun out of it. It's just a good old style truck. She's on Club Rego and you can drive it around if you want to. But she's not made for long hauls or anything like that. You don't do any overnighters in her.
You wouldn't have to go far to have an overnighter, I don't think.
No, well, if you're in top gear and you come to a bit of a hill, it's no good thinking about going into third gear and under 15 mile an hour. You'll chug down to 15 and then you can go to third. And that's about it. She growls and grinds a bit then, doesn't she, Ed?
Yeah, she puts up a bit of a fight. Her first gear's very dry. Well, it sounds dry. It's obviously not, but it's straight. It's all straight cut gears too, isn't it?
Oh, there's no synchros in her.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a learning experience driving it. Obviously, you grew up with machinery. They weren't necessarily old then. Just coming from a farming background, you were able to work on all these things?
Yeah, just suppose you'd call me a bloody bush mechanic. Probably bugger up more things than I fix up, but no, it's all just general experience, been on the farm all our lives, and you got to learn to do things.
That's for sure.
These old trucks, when I was a kid, they were fairly modern trucks then. They were still fairly new, and they've progressed a bit since then.
Matt and I were talking about that the other day. The relationship between it and when you were born is equivalent to me and I think a VC Commodore, which is 79 or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's all in proportion, isn't it?
Yeah, so they weren't old cars when I was new, and that wasn't an old car when you were new either, I suppose.
I can still remember all these old things getting around. And what is it?
It's a hot rod, isn't it?
454.
Yeah, big one.
Written on the side.
Says it on the tin.
There's the big power plant. That's the big 6.
Shit! Sorry about that, boss. You got wrong feeling, did you?
Oh, yeah.
How good is it? Up again?
No. Where was it?
Just up here.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it! And you're fucking